Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Magickal Witchy TV. I am Star Ravenhawk.
And I am Rhonda Allen. Welcome back. Happy Friday, everyone.
Friday. All right. And thank you all for joining us here tonight. Now, on with the show.
What the show?
It's a magical, witchy world. It's a magical, witchy world.
Woo-hoo.
Hi, everyone. We're
Welcome,
back again.
welcome.
Welcome to Mary Plessis. So happy to have you
Thank
joining us here
you.
tonight.
So happy
Welcome,
to be
Mary.
here.
Happy to have you
And
join us here tonight. And as usual, we will have Rhonda take over at this point.
just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us, Mary. We have Mary Plessis, and I would like to introduce you to everyone who is watching live or on playback, going through your bio first.
Great.
Okay, so Mary Plessis is a 22nd generation Dragon Gate Longman priest, an active member of OBOD, the Bardic grade, and a second degree priestess witch in the Cabot tradition. These labels represent her lifetime practice of weaving the threads that connect us all on the cosmic and physical planes. She's a professional tarot reader and ancestral guide, currently serving as committee secretary for the Tarot Association of British and International Members, where she teaches the tableau reading module for TABI's international training, TABI's intermediate training, contributes regular decks and book reviews for the blog, and supports the annual Carter Awards as social media coordinator. She also contributes regular features for the Cabot Kent Hermetic Temple newsletter. And we want to make certain we direct people to the right location where they can find you. Should we have them go to your socials or to your website? What's the best URL, or how do they find you?
Instagram, I am the Mystics Parlor with a U in parlor, and there's the.mystics.parlor. And all my other links are there. So I have a weird ghost website that has a funny URL. So
The Mystics Parlor. And I'm going to.
On Facebook, I'm my name and my picture looks like me. And if you send me a friend request and we have mutuals, I will accept it. So
fabulous. Fabulous. Thank you so much for joining us, Mary.
Yeah.
And really looking forward to this conversation.
Yes, we are. We've certainly been looking forward to
Who
that.
knows what I'm going to say? Let's see.
It's all good.
I love that your bio says all the titles that you've gone through and all the different things. But this question is not based off of what the titles that you've gained or what people have called you, but rather what you have called yourself from when you first began your journey on this path. Because I know some people have called themselves Wiccan and then ended up a witch, or whatever it is that they decided to call themselves, and then where they are currently. That is something we've noticed with a lot of people. They start off one way and then they end up one way, what they're calling themselves or referring to themselves as. And that is always so interesting to hear. So we always ask one of our first questions that we always ask everyone.
That's because they're all labels.
Yes.
And I mean, there's a Taoist concept of the uncarved block. Like once you're something, you can't be something else. However, we need labels so that we understand each other, so that we kind of can see where we're coming from. I'm a late bloomer. I spent a lot of years just raising kids, being married, working. Later, I called myself an apathetic agnostic. I couldn't be bothered to figure out what I believed.
Right.
So I found myself in my late 30s, kid grown and out, divorced, empty nester. All of a sudden, all my time was my own, and I decided to go on a spiritual walkabout. And the first thing I did back to the Catholic Church. I was raised Catholic. I'm sure a lot of you've heard this from your guests before. Love
Yes, yes.
cathedrals, love the ritual of mass, God concept, not so much. Um,
Mhm.
but I went back during Lent, which was probably my first mistake. I think I went
Mm.
for 4 or 5 weeks and thought, nope, that's not it. Gave it a fair shot. I'm done with that. And I found Taoism early on, but only as a concept, as a philosophy, not
Mm.
really as a spiritual path. But it always resonated, the concept of the all.
Mhm.
For I tried Wicca for a hot minute and realized I wasn't a Wiccan. I mean, I love the goddess, the matriarchy of that is appealing, but it's
Mhm.
still all part. It was too dogmatic for me. That
Mhm.
wasn't what I was looking for. I love the stars and the universe and all of that, and that's what I think God is. Like Frank
Mm.
Lloyd Wright said, I believe in God, only I call it nature. So all that
Mhm.
resonated with me. So, as an eclectic witch has been the title that runs through everything, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even before I did any formal study, I didn't really start any of that till close to my retirement a few years ago, when I met a Taoist abbot completely by accident. I apparently I signed up to get newsletters from the Jung Center in Houston, where I live.
Huh.
I don't remember doing it, and I got this email about this 8-week course workshop called The Mystical Path of Taoism. I thought, that sounds good. I'll do that. And it was taught by led by a man named Lao Zhichong. And I turned up at the first session, and he was 6'4", dark hair, dark eyes, not Chinese, very not Chinese. And there he was. And he was a Taoist abbot. He had studied in China. He was raised by uh, a Buddhist priest when he was
Yeah.
young. And it was just, I don't know where he came from. We ran in the same circles. We knew a lot of the same people, but our paths never crossed. It's really was the teacher appears when the student is ready. And I began a 3-year course of study with him that was actually the first third of what should have been a 10-year course of study. The 3 years was and culminated in my ordination as a Taoist priest. And then the next 3 years were to be on my own, and then 3 more with him after that. And the 3 years, it's a loose concept. I mean, the first 3 years were pretty structured, but the rest of it basically is just like an ebb and a flow. But he passed away in the middle of my second 3 years, which is when I met the Cabots and when I started studying with the Cabots. So Lori Cabot's training was my second 3 years.
Right.
And then my third 3 years have been with the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids, and that is actually a 3-segmented program. And I finished the first, and I'll continue on with the second at some point. So, but through all of those, witch has been the title. That was a long way to say that, but that's kind of
Right, right. No, but that's great because, like I said, you and I both know we run into people that begin calling themselves one particular thing. And as they go through the years, they kind of go, oh, you know what? And then they end up being, where they are being a witch. Or some people start off being a witch and then they change and become Wiccan. So it's like, this whole thing that happens. And the whole idea is to educate people in general about the way that life occurs in a very diverse manner across the magical world.
yes.
And that's why we present all of these things that we do with it. So it's kind of cool, you know.
I agree. And the thread that ties all these things together is the word witch for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I kind of go with that. I don't know if did Rhonda make it back in?
She's
I
back.
am. Can
You
you hear
are.
me
Okay, good,
okay?
good. I wasn't sure if you made it back in. Okay, good. So
Yes.
you go ahead, sweetie.
Okay, thank you. I was having some audio issues. Well, Mary, let me I mean, you did in fact bring us through some of your journey. But if you would take us back to what was the thing that really connected for you to say, okay, this is this shift, this walkabout that I need to go on. What was it within you that made you realize there's a time, this is the time for me to start this journey, to start this quest to understand where's my spiritual path at this point?
I think, like a lot of people, like I said, there was a lot of life changes, and I was just called for something more.
Mm,
My life had been very superficial at that point. Get up, go to work, raise kids, uh, earn money, buy the house,
right.
nothing more. And when all of
Mm,
that was stripped away, all of a
right.
sudden it was like, who am I? Who am I? And
Right.
that was, and that's a question I'm uncovering still. It was really,
Right.
I had picked up a deck of, I'll back up a little bit. My parents were both Irish.
Mhm.
And so even though they're Irish Catholic, there was a lot of unspoken magic, through beliefs
Mm,
and superstitions. And, the fairies are very real in my family. I mean, that,
Right.
I think Irish Catholics are the only ones that actually go to I've heard someone else say this, they go to church on Sunday and then talk about the fairies in the parking lot on the way home.
there
So
you
that
go.
kind of mixed it all up, although it wasn't really spoken. It was always accepted that there were all these things are possible,
Mhm,
and
Right.
we
mhm,
don't
mhm.
really know. um, I bought a deck of tarot cards in 1985. I bought them at a magic shop, and when I say a magic shop, I mean a like top hat, wand, card
Oh my
trick
goodness.
type
Yeah.
magic shop. I
Yes.
was going to a Halloween party, and I went as a psychic. Is what
Wow.
it was a costume, and I have my old, my my body
Yes,
weight Smith,
I
and of
love it.
course there wasn't anything there. I had, this is the book that I had.
Yes,
It's like,
yes. Wow.
and so I
Yes.
fiddled
It's
with them for a
funny.
while, but again, I wasn't there. My life was very serious, and I put them away for a long time. So these were the first that came out. Along with this, I'm going to figure out who I am. And at the same time, I started doing a lot of family history research. My parents,
Mm,
I said they were Irish. My mother was from Dublin and my father was from Belfast. My mother was Catholic. My father converted, but he was Church of Ireland. So the two
gotcha.
families that
Yeah.
I mean, and so they left. They both immigrated. They met in New York City where they immigrated, and they left. My
Uh-huh.
father was in the service, and
Wow.
they got away from both the families. So I didn't have any sense of extended. I had an aunt.
Gotcha.
My mother had two sisters. We were close. They were close. But
Yes.
my mother left me this box with these random scraps of paper, and I started doing family history research. And the internet existed, but I was going like to the Latter-day Saints Family History Library and doing the
Oh wow.
microfilms.
Wow.
Okay.
And yeah, and that's when, I mean, the only thing I can explain it is they started walking with me, and they
Mm,
took this journey with me.
yes.
And
Right.
I had to order films, and it was a guess as to what county, what parish,
Yeah.
what anything. And I knew I was being guided,
Yeah.
Right.
where I found.
Mm,
And so the whole thing, that's this whole ancestral thing. When people ask me, are you a medium? I'm like, not like you think. I'm not like what, yes, but not really. It's like, I don't know how to
mhm.
explain it. Yeah. Somebody has to want to connect with their somebody. That's the only way
Yes.
it works for me. But
Right.
Okay.
which probably is how a medium works, but it's also very specific. With me, I
Right.
don't go
Right.
into
Yeah.
a room and
That's
read people, but
amazing.
it was. And that, so this whole magical thing in my life was happening
Yeah.
on all these different levels.
Right.
While I'm walking the corporate path, there was a payroll and HR manager I retired from a
Wow.
law firm. So
Yes.
literally, 1 foot on each one of these two paths and doing the
Right.
Yes.
balancing act. So that for a long time, it was just, and making time for it, and being sure that
That
I
is
didn't lose myself because I had for so long.
Right.
So
Right.
right.
Huh, that's really interesting because it's also one of the reasons we have this other question, which is from your point of view, not others, but from your point of view, because as you said, you started late in life with it. So from your point of view, what have you discerned um, that the witch? What does it mean that being that witch means to you, from your point of view, or the meaning of it for you?
Mhm, mhm.
oh, I like that, because I'm going to answer this, but I'm going to think about this question for a long time after that. I think it's acknowledging and understanding your own internal magic. We're all good at different parts magically.
Yes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
um, there's just these different, like Taoism is very practical and very down to earth.
Mhm.
And then you look at like the Cabot tradition with all of the accoutrements, you know, and all of the, I mean, it's beautiful, and all of
Yeah.
the pomp and circumstance that goes along with their rituals. And so there's both of these things. And I've always known that the only things I needed as magical tools were my brain and my hands.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
the other stuff is nice, but
Mm.
and so it's so being grounded and being down to earth, but also being able to appreciate an elaborate ritual, which
Mhm.
is why, you know, I mean, I still love cathedrals, and I haven't been to a mass in ages, but I could probably go drop right in and pick right up where I need to
Right.
be led. I'm not very good at leading, but
Right, right.
uh,
That
so
is
there's
fa I'm sorry?
yeah, no, it's like this dichotomy of a duality that I can't really explain. You know, that for everything to exist, everything must exist, and
Right, right.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
That is yeah. That I love that nugget. There's
Yeah.
so much in that. There's a lot of meat in there.
Yeah.
So, tell us about now you've been on this journey, you've been doing this work. It's a big part now that you've left that corporate life, and now
Mhm,
you're filling your time really with this work and this journey that you're on.
mhm.
Tell us how this now fits into your day to day. How does your practice, your magic, a part of your day to day?
A big part of my regular daily life is my volunteer work through the Tarot Association, the Tabby.
Fabulous.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I'm on the committee. I also
Mhm.
teach. I've led workshops. So it's really allowed me to become creating. You know, I always thought I was going to write a book, and
Right.
then and I was going to, and of course I've been a tarot reader. But we all know what happened when the pandemic happened. It's like
Mm.
tarot exploded, and it's
Yes.
like, what did I have to say that hadn't already been said? You know, on that kind of a level. But Tabby is large enough and still small. It's large enough to draw in international members, but we're still
Mhm.
small enough. We do monthly Zooms where and topic specific where we all get together. So there's a lot of individual one-on-one that's very fulfilling. And I've kind of found
That's awesome.
my mentorship in my magic, even
Right.
though I
Ooh.
never would have thought that. I mean, I'm not anybody's teacher, but I don't
Mm.
teach. You walk with me, you know, we
Mm,
Right.
do it
mm,
together.
mhm, mhm.
And Tabby
Yeah.
has afforded me the opportunity to do that and expand my own magic and my own knowledge by the interaction with other people, because everybody has something to share, and everybody adds a layer to us if we'll let it, as we work with them one on one. So I really, and I've, it just kind of came about through that I really have had a knack for like mentoring. I'm in my mid 60s, like women in their like from late 30s to their late 40s. You know, that's just kind of been a natural thing that
Right.
Yes.
I've got lots of friends that's what, and it's not a formal thing. It's just what we do when we're together.
Right.
And
That
I
Right.
is
like being
That's
everybody's
awesome.
Aunt Mary. That's kind of how it works. That's my
love it.
all of my niece's friends call me Aunt Mary, which is really pretty cool.
I love that. I love
That's
that.
great. That's so great. Well, this next question kind of fits into there too. It kind of sounds like it's similar to what you might answer, but if you can tell us a little bit about what's become important to you, whether presently or concurrently or anything like that.
Think I talked a little bit about like the social media explosion and all the
Right, right. That's
garbage
why I said I
that's
think it
there's.
fits right in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I allowed myself to become annoyed, you know, by all
Mm,
the noise and all the garbage and everything that's out there. And it's kind of been, I don't want to blast that. I just want to find the little corners where the quiet reality belongs and bring it
mm.
there. And it's
Right,
not mine. I want to help other people find theirs.
right,
Yes.
That,
Yes.
you know, with being able to turn off the noise. I mean, here we are, you don't be on YouTube, you know, but that's, but this is what I'm talking about. This is what's important. These kind of
Yes.
conversations, I think
yeah, yeah.
that, so
That's
that,
awesome.
yeah,
That's
it's just,
awesome.
it's a continuation. That's
Yes,
what,
yes, yes,
And
absolutely.
that is absolutely the case. And that's we're hearing that a lot in our show here, but in conversations off Magic Witchy, we're hearing that notion of community and
Mhm.
just connecting and having this ability just to conversate, if you will.
I have no interest in reaching a lot of people. I only want to connect with the people that I'm meant that we hear each other.
There we go. And that literally is part of our next question to you, which is tell us about your work
Everything
with
kind of just flows.
community. It does. It's just all flowing together. So, as you said, you're not necessarily looking to speak to the masses, but tell us about what you're working. I mean, you're part of this community, this tarot community. Tell
Yes.
us more about the work with community overall. So whether it's with Tabby or other things.
It's been primarily Tabby, just because of the being aside from working and everything. I just had this is too much information. I just had a hip replacement a few months ago, and so literally I was homebound. I couldn't get around, and now I'm just starting to get out there, and I know. I live in Houston, which is this huge metropolitan city, and there are pockets, but there's nothing really organized. I mean, there just isn't anything there. And I go back and forth. I mean, I know that I could do this.
Yeah.
And as soon as I get on the brink, I pull myself back. It's like, but I like things the way they are. But no, but I want. So really, I have been thinking quite seriously just in the past few months about how to, and it really is just reaching out to the few people I know and getting some things organized. Space is an issue, finding a space. So I've been kind of looking at that. There are a few places where I live in a condo, which isn't really big enough and not a good, where I am, and the weather here, it's okay right now. In a month, the sun's going to kill us. So like meeting outside at the park isn't really, we got a week in April and a week in October. We can do that. And that's
yes. I believe you.
So, so I think that, and of course, you're leaving me with things to think about too. It's like, how do I rekindle this, and about getting, and also getting myself out there, just making me change my routines, but I'm ready. I do know that I feel that I'm ready. And I'm glad you brought up the question about community, because I love my Tabby community, and we really are, a community. But to touch people, to touch cards together. I mean, that's where we'll start.
Oh my gosh. Love.
Yeah.
Literally, I just want
That's
to give
right
a
up
small
Wanda's
aside to
alley.
that. Yeah, because I literally had our group last night, and if they're watching, hey guys, we had our hot topics conversation, and that was one of the things was, connecting with others, and also how do we, while we love the virtual world, because hey, we stay connected at the same time. We also like to be
You do miss it.
together, we also like to physically be in the same space. So
It is
that's
fun.
a question.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this next question is all about, I guess, following up with community, but in at a wider scope, because I would like to know what you see. What would you like to see us as witches accomplish presently, especially, or currently?
I would love to see us more aligned. I mean, you would think that we would be over witch wars by now.
Oh.
But we are more alike than we are different. And where's our common ground? I mean, reading my bio, I mean, I'm a Taoist, I'm a witch, I'm a druid. What do any of those things mean? They're all things that I was interested in, that I pursued, that I wanted to know more about. But I'm still me, and we're still each other. And I would like to see more alignment. I think maybe more cross community, like this one and that one, and we do something together, and then
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately,
right? We're also you're
seeing a lot of things happening in this world today, and you're like, why are there so many divisions when we could just align? But yeah.
And having to wonder about who you're talking in the US, who am I talking to before I'm talking to them?
Right.
Yeah, you have to sit back and wait. Okay, let me hear what you say first before I can know what I can add there, before I say the wrong thing to the wrong person. It's like you have to second guess everything you're doing, which is kind of sad.
And maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should just speak what's on our minds and let the cards fall where they may.
Yeah. I think I've reached that stage in life, because I'm 66 now, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I have reached that zero fuck stage where I'm just like,
Yep. My ex-mother-in-law used to say, "If it's here, it's here." So
Oh,
if she's thinking about it and if it's stuck in her throat, it's coming out of her mouth.
yeah, it comes out without you realizing it,
Yes,
and then you're like, okay,
that's
I
it.
said it. They'll deal with
better
it,
That's it.
better out than in, right?
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Yep, yep, yep.
So tell us about projects you may have coming up or things you're thinking about.
I I said I wasn't going to write a tarot book, and I'm not going to write a tarot book, but I'm formulating the chapters and kind of an outline for a book called the Tao of Witchcraft. There's the Tao of
Ooh,
poo and the Tao of this and the Tao of that. And
yes.
and it basically what we've been talking about, how I tie all this around. I mean, I'm
Yes.
I'm the world's laziest witch. I'm the world's worst Taoist. I mean, it's my Shifu always said that if it wasn't practical, it was just New Age bullshit. Mysticism without practicality is New Age bullshit. And so, I mean, that's it. I mean, how you can
Love.
do all the woo stuff, but if it
Yeah.
doesn't help you in your day to day life, why are you wasting the energy on it? So that would be the kind of the concept of that. And
Right.
my particular path of Taoism, the other thing that we were taught is, I mean, we weren't Chinese, and so
Mhm.
we don't have a Chinese thought process. So he didn't teach
Right.
us Chinese Taoism because Taoism was based in China, but Taoism is for everybody. The Tao is the all.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
how to
Well said.
apply those principles, the principles of Wu Wei, which is that's this weird one that it's action with non-action.
Mm,
Like you can't not do anything or nothing can happen, but you don't force it at the same time. It's like
love.
riding
Yes.
your boat down the stream. You've got your pirogue pole. You're not going to let yourself run into the rocks. You're going to
Right.
hub yourself away, but you're also not going to paddle like hell to get upriver because that's not going to
Right.
get you anywhere either. So all of these,
Love.
which I mean, I think everybody intrinsically knows that, but you hear somebody say it and it makes more sense. So that is something that I'd like to do. I've just started presenting through Tabby and at WitchCon, and I really love it. So
That's
I like,
fabulous.
yeah. So I have a few more ideas for those sort of things. And Tabby's given me this floor to do
Right.
that, and it's
To
been
do some
really,
projects and
really,
stuff. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
And
awesome.
it's a
awesome.
very volunteering is such a worthwhile, when you find something.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Which kind of do you think that you'll be doing any more events this year or anything like that? That what events are you have coming up either this year
Probably
or maybe?
not this year. I did because I backed up. I back to back up several things earlier in the year, and we are going to travel a little bit later in the year. So I think I am gonna propose for WitchCon. So that'll probably start up again the early part of
Right.
next year as I work on some new ideas. But
Yeah, yeah.
and
Excellent.
I've been neglecting my socials, just because I've been kind of burned out on it. But that things have happened, and this was one of them that's kind of helped rekindle my spark, and make
Right,
me
right.
feel like
Excellent.
it's time to
To do some
figure it out.
more. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that we could be a part of that. Stoking
Oh,
the flame.
you
I
you
love
two
that.
are you two are a big event for me. There's no doubt
Oh,
about that.
we
This
are
is a big event. I'm
excited.
thrilled to
Thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you.
We are
Appreciate that.
we're
We love
so
having
excited.
everyone on the show. So it's just showing everyone that everyone's on the same key, you know, same
Yeah.
levels and everything. There's no one that's better than or anything like that. So it's always good to have everyone's point of view of of the same topics, same questions, and get their viewpoints. So it's awesome.
I
So
love hearing it.
Exactly.
Always
pleasure
learn
having you
Exactly.
something.
here with us.
So, and as you mentioned, people can find you on Facebook by your name,
Yes.
and they can find you on your socials at Instagram at
The Mystics Parlor, and there's a period between the and Mystics, the
And
dot
parlor is
mystics dot
spelled
parlor.
The English
Yes,
version
with a
of
U.
parlor with the OUR
Yeah,
rather than
yes.
the
OUR.
American English. Okay.
I think it'll
Fabulous.
come up. I don't think there's a lot of us out there.
It will come up. It will come back up. And I just want to acknowledge that we do have Lavetta in the chat, and she was
Hi,
saying
Loretta.
hello and
Always
good
good to hear
evening
from
to
her.
everyone. Yes. So I wanted to acknowledge her. Thank you
New
so
friend.
much, Mary, for taking the time to be with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for the invitation. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Excellent.
Welcome
And
and thank you.
now, just a little bit about our other shows here at Magical Witchy World TV.
All right. So astrology is back, and we are doing the continuation because we had a break with the panel last week. So
Yes.
we're going to continue and beginning tonight with Leo. Okay.
Mhm.
Of the month of April, the continuation of all the different astrology signs. So we're going to finish up all of it tonight
Okay.
because next week is another is a short time with it. Okay.
Yes.
So travel was advised on the 1st or the 17th, and to take on a leadership role was suggested on the 19th. So the sun in your travel sector for the first 3 weeks of April for Leo means a spring vacation may be just the thing that you need. The best dates for a trip would have been the full moon on the 1st for a quick getaway, or the new moon on the 17th. So hopefully some of you guys did that. Divine for long distance journeys, if that's what you wanted to do. Mars had moved into Aries on the 9th, followed by Mercury on the 14th, which it had kind of accelerated your thirst for adventure. So look for a destination that satisfies your need for physical and mental stimulation. Think maybe safari, museum tour, or yoga retreat, anything like that for your well being. Okay. Career matters took up more of your time when the sun drifted into Taurus on the 19th. Opportunities led will lead push you up the company ladder. Don't shy away from taking command.
Mhm.
You're a natural leader, and others are more than happy to get behind you. Social activities elevated your chance for romance on the 24th. That's today. Venus shifts gears, then making it easier to find the one or enjoy time with your current paramour. Nothing, no harm in that. Sudden changes in your social circle keep things interesting once Uranus finally takes up residence in the friendship section of your chart tomorrow, the 25th. Over the next 7 years, you could meet new people or join groups based on mutual interest. Your circle is about to get a whole lot bigger.
Right on.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, Virgo, examine your budget. This was the beginning of April. It was a time to really hone in on your funds. That new source of income could have arrived on the 17th. So hopefully you were focusing. Income changes are possible this month, Virgo. That full moon on the 1st shed light on a situation that needed your attention. So don't put off anything for much longer. The sooner you handle it, the better. Your House of Joint Resources is active for most of April, providing ample opportunities to update your budget and get your taxes in order. Conversations with loved ones about expenses ensure everyone's on the same page. So, back on the 9th, Mars and Mercury joined the Sun in that week. It was a combo that preferred a take charge attitude on money issues. You also is a great time to schedule an appointment with your financial advisor and to make necessary adjustments to your budget. That new moon we had on the 17th brought an unexpected source of revenue. So, for example, your partner may have received a raise or you might have gotten a bigger tax refund. Whatever happens could feel like sweet relief. Travel beckoned on the 19th when the sun switched signs. So, the question, where do you want to go? Start planning that summer travel. Venus in your career zone beginning today, the 24th, is ideal for mixing business with pleasure. So perhaps a business trip could turn into an opportunity to visit a new city. Lastly, Uranus will be in Gemini as of tomorrow, starting a 7-year transit associated with interesting work, sudden job changes, and advancement through friends. It is best to remain flexible and ready to pivot as situations demand.
Okay, so
Yes.
Libra, you are advised to travel with your partner on the 13th. So there's a lot of travel going on for
Yeah.
April, okay? So and initiate new partnerships on the 17th. So relationships will be on your mind this month. Although some would consider that your usual state, the sun's presence in your partnership zone, puts issues front and center, which you had to deal with. Address those problems and your connection will deepen. If you're single, this is an excellent month to put yourself back on the dating scene. So those apps that they have, I think they have a million apps now, right?
Yeah,
When I
pretty
was
much.
first dating way back, when those apps, those things came out, it wasn't even apps. It was dating websites, right? They had a
Yes.
couple. Now there's a whole bunch. You can express your needs better than ever thanks to the full moon that we had on the first. If eradicated doormat mode and allowed for, sorry, it eradicated doormat mode and allowed for equity with loved ones. Please no doormat modes, okay?
Mhm,
Don't let anyone do that to you, or ATM modes. However,
mhm.
the week of the ninth and Mars had Mars and Mercury in Aries, which may have brought out your aggressive side. And while there is nothing wrong with asserting yourself, you'll need to keep combative tendencies in check. All right. The Venus Jupiter sextile on the 13th was considered lucky for both love and travel. So book a trip perhaps for two. It could rekindle sparks. The new moon on the 17th was also ideal for initiating partnerships, both in the romantic sector and in business. Anything started that day had the potential to succeed. So I hope many of you guys started something or continued something business wise then. Work out financial details with partners when the sun flows into your joint resources sector from the 19th onwards. So, all of that all the way through to the end of April. You'll have 4 weeks to reach a deal. Okay. Romantic journeys add spice to spring when Venus tours the long distance journey part of your chart for a few weeks, beginning tonight on the 24th. And this may stir your wanderlust. Thankfully, Uranus follows suit the next day, sparking a 7-year travel itch. That's 7 years playing on a lot
Love.
this month, too. Set
Yeah.
along with travel altogether and your money. Sudden
Mhm.
opportunities to jet off around the world could broaden your horizons in unexpected ways. Better keep that passport nearby just in case.
Love, love. All right, Scorpio. Hope you got some rest. Hope you got that rest on the first or started a new health program on the 17th with that new moon. April's busyness at work may feel bananas at times, but you'll be at your best. Before the madness commences, hopefully you use that first full moon for a day of rest. So think back to the first of the month. Hopefully you got some rest in then. That was to prepare you for the challenges ahead. On the 9th, your ruling planet Mars moved into your work zone with Mercury joining a few days after. That gave you energy, mental bandwidth, and drive to achieve great things. It was your time to lead, and your team will be sure to follow. Hope you started a new health regimen on the 17th again on that new moon. No more slacking or excuses. The sun changed signs on the 19th and landed in your partnership sector. Suddenly, your relationships needed more attention. This made you happy to strengthen the bonds through quality time and deep conversations. Venus goes in Gemini tonight on the 24th, indicating steamy pillow talk, which could add sizzle to your love life. Uranus begins that 7-year tour of the shared resources section of your chart on the 25th tomorrow, a transit that might deliver sudden gains or losses. Your financial outlook feels like a roller coaster at times, so careful budgeting will be necessary this month.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mhm.
All right. So, Sagittarius, attending a social event on the 1st was great, and asserting your independence on the 25th, tomorrow, would be great. Romance is on the rise this month for you, Sagittarians. A bevy of planets in the true love section of your chart raises the possibilities of finding the one or making a commitment with a current paramour.
Hmm.
The full moon on the 1st was ideal for socializing, having you meet exciting new people that day. And then Mars and Mercury moved into Aries the week of the 9th, which added assertiveness to love matters, which urged you to make your move, pop the question, or say what you needed to say to get things in a way. Boldness will lead to the best outcomes, of course. Love prospects improved a bit on at the 17th new moon. For single, if you were single, you archers, this could mean an intriguing newcomer coming into your life. That lunation may also signal pregnancy or the birth of a child. On the 19th, the sun entered into Taurus, pushing you into a leadership role at work. And you'll need to excel in this position, paving the way for a future promotion. Okay.
Hmm.
Venus in your partnership zone on the 24th today will bring harmony to all your relationships for the following month. Even if issues arise, you'll find peaceful resolutions. Your tendency to roam enters a 7 year stretch when Uranus joins Venus on the 25th tomorrow. Freedom and independency are always a must in your relationships, but now more than ever. Loved ones will need to find a way to give you space, but you'll also need to curb your tendency
Hmm.
to roam if you want to keep the peace.
Fair. All right, Capricorn. Recognition that came through on the first of the month. So put your home on the market on the 17th. So the first recognition on the 17th on that new moon, it was time to make that move. This is the best month to get your home sorted out. The sun sits next to your ruler Saturn as April begins a dynamic duo for organizing, renovating, and repairing. That full moon we had on the first pushed you into the limelight. So recognition really was also possible at that time. Be proud of your accomplishments. Busyness around the household reached a fever pitch the week of the 9th when Mars and Mercury entered the domestic section of your chart. The rest of April could be productive, helping you achieve your dream home. If you want to buy or sell property, the new moon that we had on the 17th was your best bet until the end of this month. On the 19th, the sun sailed into your romance zone, and suddenly you're ready for a spring fling. It's a favorable 4-week period for finding love or making it official. Harmony at work is assured when Venus switches gears tonight, the 24th. Teamwork is seamless, leading to a pleasant working atmosphere. And then Uranus in Gemini tomorrow signals a step into the future at work. Over the next 7 years, you might see technological advances that take your career in exciting new directions. Innovation keeps it interesting, but it also means you'll need to stay up to date. Sudden job changes are another possibility, raising the possibility that you'll be in a new career by the time this transit ends.
That sounds
Hmm.
wonderful. All
Yeah.
right, Aquarius. Travel on the 1st or 17th again as you notice that travel plays a big deal throughout this month for many of you. Begin
Hmm.
home improvement projects on the 19th. So April will have you on the go constantly. Okay. The full moon on the 1st was ideal for a long distance journey. It's best to keep your passport handy throughout this month or your car gassed up for last minute road trips, which are a real possibility when Mars and Mercury enter the short travel section of your chart from the week of the 9th onward. Once that happens, there's no slowing down. The new moon on the 17th was also another excellent option for a getaway. Household matters needed attention when the sun sauntered into Taurus on the 19th. It was the time for beginning spring home improvement projects such as landscaping or painting. Start now and you'll be ready for summer soirees at your pad. On the 24th, Venus will be in your true love zone, giving you opportunities to connect in a deeply romantic way. Whether you're single or partnered, this is like a love potion. The 25th puts Uranus in Gemini for 7 years, a transit that elevates your creative originality. It also promises an active and exciting social calendar, which means more fun. When it comes to matters of the heart, it's a bit more unpredictable. While unusual and mentally stimulating relationships are possible, you'll also need freedom. Okay.
Hmm.
So be clear about your needs to avoid misunderstandings with your partner. All right.
Right
All right.
on. Okay, Pisces, here we go. Hope you sorted out your budget from the first onwards, possibly even started a new business, perhaps on that new moon on the 17th. So, Pisces, your income improves this month. Begin by examining your budget. That was the first thing to start at the beginning of the month. The full moon illuminated financial leaks and debts that needed payment. Once you've taken care of that, you're ready to boost your revenue. The sun in your money zone attracts new sources, but things really get roaring when Mars and Mercury join the sun the week of the 9th. This trio provided ingenuity, muscle, and determination. You could soar past money goals quicker than expected. The new moon on the 17th then was also excellent for starting a new business or that side hustle. Whatever you began, that whatever it is, will make a handsome profit. So short journeys, okay, back to the travel, may have occurred when the sun changed signs on the 19th. You might travel for business or for family visits, either way. Beautifying your nest, or your home turns into a major project when Venus steps into your domestic sphere. Splurge on new furnishings, art, or even flowers, whatever. Splurge a little bit domestically. Update your garden with rose bushes and all the pretty posies. Uranus will sidle up next to Venus on the 25th, but this transit will last much longer, 7 years to be exact. This
Mm.
transit means sudden changes in your home or family. For example, you may need to move for a job, or for a loved one might fly the coop. Exercise caution with home improvement projects. They could turn into major headaches. So even though it's time to spruce it up, don't go don't go overboard. A conservative approach will keep things from turning into a money pit.
Gotta remember that.
That's it. Right on. So
All right. So
now that
that's
we've
it for
got,
the astrology signs for everyone, okay?
yeah, and here we go. We have to pull a card.
All right. So we
Ooh,
had a lot of different signs, right? Like the 7 year thing that's coming up, the
yeah.
money sector,
Yes.
the love, the travel,
Oh my
all of those
gosh, the
playing
travel,
out
the travel.
for everyone, right?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
just,
So what do you want to go with?
look, Uranus is known for, I don't want to just say causing havoc, but Uranus is known for being a little, all over the place.
Chaotic a bit.
Chaotic, right? So
Yeah.
now that blessings and hallelujah, Uranus is moving off into this next 7 year period.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna ask, what's that last dreg of chaos that's going on in your world right now? What's that last bit of, I don't want to say chaos magic, but it's just chaos. Where's the chaos going on in your world right now? Just one card on that.
Okay.
Let's pull a card on that.
All right. Let's do that.
Jeez.
So what have you got?
I got the Knight of Swords. What
Okay.
fun. And
Right.
again, I'm using Delos Tarot. Again, I love this little deck, Delos Tarot. Um, So, Knight of Swords, where's the chaos in my world right now? I'm just gonna call it for what it is. This is me out here racing off into the winds, trying to do all the things
Yeah.
all the time. I have all these great ideas, and I want to do them all, and I want to get it all done. So
Yeah.
that's where my chaos is. It's just me, and this is not a surprise. Y'all who know me recognize this. So I just need to rein it in a little bit. Give myself a little time and breathe through. This is air. This is air. So I need to breathe through it. I partner with the element to understand how to respond. I need to
Right.
breathe through it. I need to think. I need to pace myself and not just come up with ideas and race forward. So
Right.
that's where the chaos is.
Okay. All right.
What
So
about you?
I've got the Five of Wands. Can you see that?
Oh, yes.
And that's my normal witch's tarot that I always pick. And it it,
Yes.
it looks chaotic. If you look,
Yeah, you got those
it's
little
the Five of
dragons
Wands, and
and
I'm looking at it. I'm going, it's all
oof.
over the place. As much as it's saying something nice, it's the
Yeah,
Wands.
yes.
Um,
It's
it's still
fire.
saying, even with all those things, those goodies that's up there, and all the things that's coming into play, and they're all kind of good, but they're good chaotic kind of a things.
They
Um,
are.
they're flying. It's basically warning you not to, with all the goodies, don't take on too much of it at the same time, or um, like it's all going to be flying at you at the same time, kind of a thing,
Yeah.
literally.
Yes.
And you have to kind of take a lot of things into consideration, and um, because it seems like it's all good, it will feel like I gotta grab it all,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
and it kind of have use some discernment.
Love that word. Love that word. That's
use some
right.
use some discernment to
Oh my
kind of
gosh.
figure things out, so you can go through it smoothly, because there's a
Yes.
lot going on, and it's going to go on, some of it's going to go on for 7 years.
Yes. That new pattern. Love.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
let's see. All right, so our next guest is Dina Rosenberg, and that will be on May 1st.
Yes.
um Beltane first, second, and then
Yes.
we have Beltane in Tompkins Square Park on the 2nd. So I hope to see many of you guys there. And Rhonda and I wish to thank you all for being in the chat with us tonight, and for
Yes.
all of you, whether in the playback or now presently. Thank you, Loretta, for always being here.
Yes.
And we want to thank Mary du Plessis for being with us as well. She was such a wonderful guest to have on here.
Yes.
And Rhonda,
Oh, thank you, Mary, for making it out. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Again, just want
yes,
to echo that, whether you're live or on playback, we really appreciate you. Thank you for comments that you share. Please
yes,
do like, subscribe, and share. We really, 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 truly appreciate it. Um, yeah, that's
and we'll
it.
see you all next week. And
We'll
thank
see.
you, thank you, and thank you.
Have a great week, everyone.
Yes.